What old people thing do your parents do which drives you crazy? My mom still can't get my name down. She cycles between all other family members and the dog before figuring it out. Every time I pick up my dad's iPhone he has Bluetooth, do not disturb, and sometimes airplane mode activated. I always ask him why they're on and he always says I didn't touch those. How? My dad does the old person tech support thing, but he argues with me about it. I have to reteach this guy how to use email attachments 3 times a month and he wants to tell me how I should be updating the drivers on his janky ass laptop. Because God forbid he ever for 1 second not be the highest authority on all forms of knowledge. I've instituted a rule that I won't so much as touch his computer unless he leaves the room first. Also the thing where he keeps telling my kid brother to apply for jobs by turning up in person with a paper copy of his resume and refusing to leave until he can give it to a manager. My mom always puts her phone on speakerphone. Even in public, she uses speakerphone. Dad still continues to sign his name on the bottom of each Facebook post, steals from kids. Talks super loud into the phone as if she's talking into a fast food speaker in 1980. If the phone has bad reception she talks louder. It's not that I can't hear, it's that I'm only receiving 1/10 of the words you're saying, and I'm receiving them very loudly. Not understanding the difference between Facebook and Facebook Messenger and leaving replies to messages on one's profile. Tells me what I do and don't like or says I said something I didn't. Here, have a bite. No thanks mom. I don't like tomatoes. Yes you do. You even said they were your favorite. No I didn't. I never liked them since when? Since always. Mom. Nah, that's not true. Here, have a bite. When my mum takes a call on her mobile phone while in public she will get angry at everyone for speaking and will ask them to be quiet. You know, rather than walking away with the phone. Mum, it's not 1987 anymore. Phones are cordless now, especially that one you tote around in your handbag and have since 2005. OMFG, they have a landline with 2 phones. Both phones are in the same room. Each phone has its own ringtone. One ring is some sort of Jeopardy sounding melody and the other is a MIDI rap beat. So every time the phone rings, both ring at the same time, making this god-awful mess of a noise. Stealing glasses and silverware from restaurants. My mom has a drawer full of mismatched silverware from probably 30 years of petty larceny. Oh yeah, and about 50 crab crackers from Red Lobster even though she has never made crab legs or lobster herself. My sister does it now and I fear my family might have some kind of curse that forces the women to gather restaurant utensils like a bunch of magpies. My biggest gripe with my parents is that over the years they have become insanely indecisive. I remember a year or 2 ago we were waiting to board a flight and neither of us had eaten since we had begun our journey and we don't like to eat on airplanes because the food usually sucks. So at this point we were all super hungry and decide to sit down and order drink in a place that does a full English. Next thing I know they both go off the idea and start talking to each other for a good 15 minutes just discussing if they should get food at another place. Then starts our good 45+ minutes walk around the airport as they read out all the menus of each place until they finally settle on the place we started at. My dad says things like the Facebook, the Google, the YouTube. It drives my whole family bonkers. They use plastic cutlery so they don't have to wash the real silverware, but then they wash and reuse the plastic ones to be thrifty. My parents, and apparently everyone over the age of 50 in my life, can't pronounce Chipotle correctly. Watch the non-HD channels on their really nice 65 inches 4K TV because it's easier to channel surf. Full cable package with a guide they can go through to see what's on. My dad still flips through the channels and watches random shows until a commercial comes on. Every time my mother or father notices I've opened the refrigerator, no matter how far away they are, they will loudly tell me the contents to the best of their recollection, as if some kind of black veil shrouds my vision into the refrigerator. There's some leftover turkey, ham, Brussels sprouts, carrots, I think some macaroni, maybe some of that tuna fish from yesterday. My parents love that my husband and I have desktop computers, battle stations. They insist they don't need them and tablets, laptops are better. But when they visit, They basically spend 24/7 playing whatever Candy Crush or slots game they're currently on. When my mom visited over Thanksgiving, she did something to my computer that suddenly made it only come up in one monitor all stretched out no matter what we did. No big, the computer was old and my husband can fix these things usually. He decided instead to build me a new computer for Christmas, which I had about 3 days before we left for vacation. My parents were at my house for a few days to get my dog and visit my sister. I got a call yesterday that she clicked on a link and got ransomware on the brand new computer, leaving notes on the washing machine because the old one broke. It's not from using pods, mom, it's because it was 17 years old. Their iPhones wouldn't pair with their new car technology as hard. Instead of asking one of us to help them, they went out and bought 2 new iPhones and were put on new contract in addition to the old contract. Took days to get them out of that one. Still left with phones to sell. They don't understand the big issue with being taken advantage of by the cell phone store employee who was so helpful. Don't get me started on the I'm going to win Publishers Clearinghouse. Left single quotation mark. My mom deletes all the texts off her phone every day to save space, yet she records and keeps new videos of the cat daily. That's like a million texts. I tell her every time. My dad refuses to get a debit card. This means he can't buy anything online ever and he has to go to the bank to withdraw money and pay for large purchases with cash. Mom is jealous I got a new Windows 10 gaming laptop. She wants one. She can't figure out how to text on an iPhone. Dad says she'll never be able to work the laptop. She flips him the bird and says frick you, etc. So I told her when she can call and tell me how to print something, anything, she can have the laptop. She will never learn to print. We good. Edit. It's been a month and I'd just like to update to say dad bought her a better laptop than mine, with a bigger screen, and regularly calls me for tech support. I don't know how it works either. I just know where the search function is to find my Steam thingy. Honestly, it's hilarious despite the mild inconvenience. When I was vegetarian, for 7 years my mom asked me if I eat eggs every time I saw her. She also just assumed I eat fish no matter how many times I told her I don't, because she's Catholic. Turning the volume all the way down instead of pressing mute. Dismiss anything they don't understand as young people stuff and constantly complain about how stupid young people are. Basically, they're the only people with any common sense, and everyone else is a complete idiot the moment they make a mistake. They've always done this. They're in their late 60s now, but I'm 37, and they did it to me when I was a kid. I'd overhear them on the phone with friends and family, randomly interjecting how stupid I was, and how terrible all of my friends were. Dumb. Troublemakers, unprincipled, greedy, smelly, you name it, they said it. I have trouble understanding how well-meaning played into anything. The mockery was constant for years. Say racist stuff in public. It's bad enough if you do it at home, alone with your uncomfortable family, but when you go to IDK Walmart and they point at a woman in a hijab and say look Gigi, a Muslim, hope she doesn't have a shoe bottom. How all I can do is mouth sorry when they look at us and remind my parents that they are being rude. I'm so sorry everyone. I'm so sorry if you've ever had to witness that. Being really rude to waitstaff. I don't know what is up with my particular set of grandparents-in-law, but holy crud they can be downright terse with servers. It makes me physically cringe. Telling us how young people have no work ethic and how they started working 5 hours out of the womb. Like you'll need to understand we're not in the old country anymore. I go to school and work 2 part-time jobs. Absolutely refusing to buy anything off the internet with a credit card cause hackers will get their card number. All too happy to call someone over the phone and read their card number off to a complete stranger. I'm assuming they think the swipe card readers at gas stations, ATMs, and Walmart must communicate back to the bank via telegraph or something similar. I've pointed all this out but they heard about, that one person who had a bad experience buying online, so there's that. Level 1. In my case, my mother. Random cheap, like she won't flush the fucking toilet unless there's in it, because she has a water meter. She has nothing but LED lights in the house, but none of them are installed because she wants the old bulbs to burn out first. Folks, Running a 65W bulb for a month will kinda use up all the power an LED will in a year, if not a lot more. You do not save shit by letting them burn out first, and then when she drives we're gonna be going 10-15 below the limit. No matter where we are or what circumstances, there will be a line of about 80 cars behind her. Several will pass her. Sometimes they'll roar up onto the fucking sidewalk to get around her, and she won't see the problem, unless she's late for church. That's the one freaking exception. Then it turns into the Indy 500. Wow, a lot of these were tech related. What are some Smiler experiences you have had? Put in the comments below.